Okay, check the answer to homework question. Question 5, 6, 7, 8 were homework. So see, in question 5 what was given? Rajan filed his return for previous year 24-25 on 5th December 25. Okay, coincidentally today is 5th December. His return was processed under section 143(1). An intimation for the same was received by him on 12th Feb 2026. In short, he had filed a return, he received the intimation also. And then on 22nd June 26, he received a notice under 143(2) requiring him to attend the office. You know what is 143(2)? Notice of scrutiny. Here he was required to attend the office. And then what they are saying? Rajan seeks your advice as to whether he should respond to this notice, as his assessment for 24-25 is already completed under section 143(1). Means he is of what opinion? That since his assessment is already done under 143(1), since he has already received the intimation, should he respond to that another notice of 143(2)? He has to respond, because see, receiving intimation under 143(1), although it's a summary assessment, but summary assessment is as good as no assessment. Even after summary assessment, scrutiny can be initiated. Okay. So what should you advise him? You should respond to notice under 143(2). And if you don't respond, AO will conduct best judgment assessment. You know, in best judgment assessment, failure to reply 143(2) is also one of the circumstances. Okay, so you can write an extra thing also. First you have to write that you should respond to the notice, and with reason you have to write, because receiving intimation under summary assessment, it is not an assessment. Summary assessment is as good as no assessment. So assessee should respond, and if he fails to respond, his assessment will be done as per the judgment of the AO. Okay. Pardon? Advice? Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Yes. See, the way of answering should be what you know. Rajan seeks your advice as to whether he should respond. So answer should start like that only. See, this you study from childhood only. What is your name? Your answer starts from the question only. What is your name? My name is this. But you can also answer, what is your name? People call me so and so. But that is a different way of answering. But generally when we are kids, what we studied, that whenever the question is framed, your answer should start from the question only. What is your name? My name is this. Where do you stay? I stay here. So that way it's better to answer. So see here, whether he should respond, he should respond. Anyways, what you have written is also correct. No problem in that. But always target the question the way it is framed. It is framed in a particular manner, you have to answer accordingly. In exam, our objective is what you know, they are asking something, answer them properly. So that's why always read what is asked properly. So here they are saying, he is seeking your advice as to whether he should respond. So it is better to start our answer in that tone only. Okay. So see, read this. But nothing hard and fast. What you have written is also absolutely right. Rajan filed his return on so and so date. His return was processed under, read the answer once. His return is processed under 143(1) and the intimation was received. See, first we have to explain in short what has happened in the question. However, it should be noted that the processing of return does not amount to assessment. Summary assessment is as good as no assessment. Accordingly, scrutiny can be initiated even after receipt of intimation. Hence, Rajan is advised to respond to the notice. You can write extra thing also. If he fails to respond, AO will conduct best judgment assessment. Okay. Then, question number 6. Read. Zoom Limited filed its return for AY 25 for AY 25-26 on 6th July 2025. The return is selected for regular assessment under 143.3. See, you should remember every section, because in question they talk with sections only many times. So he filed the return and regular assessment was done, for which, regular assessment was not done. He was selected for regular assessment, for which notice under 143.2 is served on the company on 3rd July 26. Whether the service of notice is within the time. So tell me, what is the time limit for 143.2 notice? Within 3 months from the end of the year in which return is filed. And within this 3 months, assessee should receive the notice. Okay. And when did he receive? 3rd July. See, served means he was received on this date. To serve a notice means to make sure that you received it. Okay. So he has received on 3rd July. Now just check, is it within the time? So see how to count the time. 3 months from the end of the year when you filed the return. So when did you file the return? On 6th July 25. So first you have to end the year. So what is the end of the year? 31st March 26. This is the end of the year. After that 3 more months. So that comes to 30th June 26. So latest by 30th June 26, he should have received, company should have received the notice. But they received by 30th June or after that? After that. Hence the service of notice is not within the time. See, my answer will start like this. Whether the service of notice is within the time? No. The notice is not served within the time. You know, in my notes I have given the assessee should receive the notice within 3 months. Law doesn't use the word receive. Law says assessee should be served within 3 months. Received was my word, just to simplify my notes. Because this served and all this hi-fi terms many times people don't understand. So I used a simple language that makes sure assessee receives within 3 months. But in the law they have written served. And see, sometimes you should know the legal word also, because question is framed according to the legal language. So see here, repeatedly they are using the word served, service of the notice, because in the law they have written within 3 months assessee should be served the notice, which is in other words is he should receive the notice. But see, this is the only notice where law is insisting it should be received within the time limit. Rest all places you can generalize. Once the notice is sent from the department, it's sufficient. Sending in time is sufficient. Whether he receives on time or late is not relevant. But especially in this notice, the law has clearly written it should be served. It should be received by the assessee within the time. Okay. So just see the answer. See, first I explained the provision. 143.2 should be served within 3 months from the end of the year in which return is filed. So accordingly the deadline comes to 30th June. But here it is received on 3rd July. Hence the notice is invalid. Okay. Then question number 7. Question number 7. Grind Limited is engaged in sale of beverages. For previous year 24-25, it failed to file the return voluntarily. After the end of AY, that is on 17th May 26, the AO served a notice under 143.2 and completed the assessment under 143.3 by passing an order on 14th July 26. Discuss whether the action of AO is valid or not. What was the action of AO for which we are checking the validity? See, they are asking whether the action of AO is valid or not. So let's understand what was the action of AO. His action was he served a notice. Okay, and then he passed an order. Means he did regular assessment. So doing regular assessment is valid? Not valid, because assessee had failed to file the return. And you know, in regular assessment, return is must. Although we don't trust, but the return is must. And here, without assessee filing the return, how can AO do regular assessment? Regular means regular, systematic. And in every systematic assessment, return is a prerequisite. So if there was no return, AO cannot do regular assessment. His action is not valid. What is the right course of action? What is the right course of action? If someone has not filed the return, ask him to file the return. Or if you do not want to ask him, do best judgment. See, AO is not bound to ask him to file the return. Huh? It is his choice. He can get angry for not filing the return voluntarily. You know, best judgment can be done for failure under 139(1) also. So if I am AO, I have got two choices. If I have got patience, I will say, okay, you didn't file. I will send a notice, RAI notice. Please file. Means I should make sure that he files. And if I don't want to send RAI notice, I can directly do best judgment. This is the right course of action. But me doing regular assessment is not valid. This point had come in the previous lecture. You know, everything which I teach in the class, I make sure that you practice through sums. And these are not random questions. Some of the questions have been actually asked in past papers. Huh? So here what should be your answer? His action is not valid. See, if you don't understand how should I frame the answer, just remember one simple principle. You have to answer what they have asked with reason, with justification. Okay. Just as see what is the role of a teacher to explain the student with logic. So that students are convinced, yes, I understood, sir. So same thing you have to do in exam paper. Just explain with proper reasoning. So here proper reasoning will be regular assessment has to be done with return. Under regular assessment, filing of return is must. And if AO has done regular assessment without assesses return, the action of AO is not valid. You can frame in your own language. And then you can also write in addition, the right course of action would be either ask the assessor to file the return by sending notice under 142(1), okay, or if he doesn't want to send notice under 142(1), he can directly do best judgment assessment. So read what is written. In case of regular assessment, return is must. Okay. Assessment under 143(3) can be done only if the assessee has filed the return. Then in the given case, Grind Limited has failed to file the return. So in such case, AO cannot send 143(2). You know how I justified? The time of 143(2) itself is counted 3 months from the end of the return is filed. So that is implied the return has to be filed. Hence the action is not valid. What is the right course of action? To require the assessee to file the return or directly issue a show cause notice and make best judgment assessment. Either or, anything he can do. Okay. Then one more question was there. Question number 8. Big Bank Private Limited is a closely held company. It filed its return for previous year 24-25 on 17th October 2025. A notice of 142(1) was issued by AO on 26 November 25 requiring the assessee to furnish certain information. Means he was sent RAI notice. You know, even in this 142(1), he was asked to furnish information. So information means it is I from RAI. Remember RAI notice RAI. In RAI what was I? Information. So he received that I notice from RAI. Okay. However, the assessee failed to reply. Then on 4th May 2026, the AO passed an order under 144. Means he did best judgment assessment. Now assessee contends. Contends means argues. Assessee argues that the order passed by AO is not tenable. Tenable means it cannot be held. Means it is not valid. See, tenable means to hold something. See, if something is proper, you can hold it. Yes, it's right. But here they are saying it is not tenable. Means it, in short, in simple language, it is not valid. It's not proper. So, assessee contends means he is arguing that the order passed is not tenable. Means it is not valid. Because the AO failed to issue a show cause notice. Discuss whether the contention, whether the argument of assessee is valid or not. It is invalid. Generally, for best judgment assessment, issue of show cause notice is must. However, if AO conducts best judgment on account of assessee's failure to reply to 142.1, then AO is not supposed to issue a show cause notice. And in the given case, it was assessee's failure to reply to 142.1. So accordingly, AO doing best judgment without issue of show cause notice is valid. It's tenable in law. It's tenable in law. It is valid in law. Remember this point I had explained exception. So see here, main things I have highlighted in red color. Failure to comply with notice under 142.1, then show cause notice is not required. Whenever there is 142.1 failure, show cause is not required. Hence, without issuing, in such case, AO can make best judgment assessment without issuing show cause notice. So accordingly, assessee's argument is invalid. What is invalid? Assessee's argument. See, learn this language, contention of the assessee, tenable in law. See, the idea is what first I ask you to try. And then when I give the explanation, it has more impact. Otherwise, directly if I start solving the sum without your zero input, it has no value, okay. But first you have tried, then when you get some knowledge from me, it has an impact, okay. And notice on the wordings, these wordings, certain words you have to literally by heart. Whenever you want to write, assessee wants to argue, assessee is contending, is contention. For valid we say tenable. And if something is going beyond the time, it's time barred. What did I say? Time barred. Like see in that one question of Zoom Limited, notice of 143.2, assessee received on some 3rd July. So it was within the time or beyond the time. So you can say time barred. Time barred means you have crossed the time limit. So certain words you make sure that you memorize. If you want, when you make your notes, you can write somewhere as an extra notes of yours. So these were the homework questions. Okay. Now let's continue further. Okay, see, we started with income escaping assessment. Now see, in income escaping assessment, I had said that we will do the theory in 4 parts. Part 1 we have done. Meaning. So what is the meaning of income escaping assessment? Whenever the assessing officer is not able to do assessment on time, if timely assessment is not done. Timely assessment means doing within 12 months from the end of AY. So if within time assessment is not done, we say assessee is escaped. And there is one more category of escaped. Sometimes the assessment was done. Assessee was caught on time. But the assessment was not properly done. Income was under assessed. In such case also we say assessee has escaped. Okay. Actually it would be wrong to say assessee has escaped. In exam when you write, you should write income has escaped. See, government is not interested in assessee. Government is interested in the income. So the language should be income has escaped. Although when I explain, I might casually say assessee has escaped. But the language should be income has escaped. Okay. So that was the meaning. And then condition. Okay. Now for doing income escaping assessment, there are some conditions. Because see, why condition is put? Because your department is not taking action on time. It is a belated action. And if they take belated action, it should not amount to harassment to the public. Because see, public should not feel what is the nonsense. I have filed a return and you didn't do the assessment within that 12 months time. Now suddenly you are waking up. Now you want to do the assessment after such a long time. So it is somewhere mistake of the department. Na? So that's why department has to have some information about the escapement of the income. If they don't have the information, they directly start doing assessment, then it is wrong from public's point of view. Okay. So that's why law says if you want to take late action, there is a condition that AO should possess some information which suggests the income has escaped. And information can be anything from rough CA, risk management strategy, information from foreign country, faceless collection information, order of the court, and then audit objection. This much we have done. Now, continuing further. There are two exceptions to this condition. If there is a search on a particular assessee, means there is income tax raid, then directly assessment can be done without this condition. See, this condition is trying to assure what? That don't take random action on any assessee. You should have some proof kind of thing which makes you feel assessee has done some blunder. But that is in general. But imagine a person who is raided. The fact that raid has been done, it is the biggest evidence that he is a cheater. So that's why law says in case of raid, this condition is not required. Because see, this condition is trying to establish some evidence. No, you have done the cheating. We have some information. But imagine someone who is raided. That itself is a proof of what? That he is a cheater. He is escaping incomes. That's why we conducted the raid. So in raid cases, this condition is not required. And then there is one more exception. Survey cases. Read this. Search and survey cases. See, search means raid. Income tax raids. Even in survey cases, this condition is not applicable. You know what is survey? See, this search, raid you have always heard about. Everyone knows. But what is survey? Everyone do not know. You know survey is what? Under survey, income tax officer will suddenly visit our office. It's a surprise visit. So that assessee is caught red-handed. So you know what happens? When they send a notice that produce your books, you can manipulate the books and send the books. But imagine if they directly come to my office. So I will have to provide whatever is available. So sometimes the real books of accounts are revealed. Because I didn't get the chance, na? They suddenly entered my office. See, if I get a notice, Shirish Vyas, you have to produce your books of accounts. Then I will be prepared. Oh, you want my books of accounts? I can create a fake books and send wrong books of accounts. I can fool them because when they give me notice, I have a time to think and plan. But imagine if they directly enter my classes. So whatever is available, I will have to provide. And imagine I am a cheater. I always show less income. But when they entered, they caught my real books. And in my real books, the real profit was disclosed. So this is the idea of survey. In short, in survey, they give a surprise visit without even making the assessee know in advance. Suddenly, anytime they can come. And that they can do. And the idea is what you know. Suddenly, if they enter my office or a place of business, they can get the evidence. Okay. So imagine an assessee was surveyed. See, there is a difference between raid and survey. In raid also, suddenly they enter our house. But raid is a very, intense action. Here they are very aggressive. In survey, it is a light action. It is not that intense. Because in survey, they will simply come to my office. They will not come to my home. In raid, they directly attack my residence. They will enter my bedroom. They will enter my kitchen. They will enter anywhere. And raid is a very extreme action. Survey, is a light action. Here they will never enter my house. At the most, they can visit the place of business. Like my business of coaching class, they can come to my classes. And that also during office hours. See, this is just a rough idea I am giving. Later on, there is a separate topic on search and survey. That time we'll study more in depth. Right now, we just take a broader idea. Yes, there is something called search and survey, but search is very strong action. Here they can enter my house also. But survey is subtle. It is not that strict. Here they will at the most enter my office, my business place, and they will simply ask some question. They will not start searching. They will ask few questions and go away. Okay. But the moment you come to know that someone is searched or someone is surveyed, that means income tax department has got evidence. So then this is not required separately then. See, generally, imagine a person who is neither raided, not surveyed, and for them, if they are taking action, they will question what information you have, why are you disturbing me, why didn't you take the assessment on time, suddenly you are taking the action so late. So a person can question, means a general person. Huh? But if you are raided and surveyed, you cannot question. They can directly start income escaping assessment on you. Okay. In short, there are three categories of people: raided people, surveyed, and others. So for raided and surveyed person, information not required, and for other people, information is must. See, this is a condition. Then keep a track on this. This is done. Condition is also done. Next is procedure. Procedure means what? See, under income escaping, what is happening? Assessing officer is taking timely action or late action? Late action. But for doing the late action, there is a procedure to be followed. So that procedure we have to understand. So see here, in procedure there are 4 steps. In procedure there are 4 steps, and every step has some logic. Huh? Step 1, comply with section 148A. Now what is 148A? Don't pay attention to the section now. Understand the step. This step says issue a show cause notice to the assessee and ask him why his case should not be reopened. See, imagine I am assessing officer. I got some information which is suggesting that your income has escaped. So the moment I get information, I should not directly start attacking you. Although I am very confident with the information, I am so confident that I have caught you cheating, but still, how should I behave, First I will give a show cause notice, and there I will say, dear assessee, I have got some information based on which we feel that your income has escaped. Now we are planning to reopen your case. You tell me, why shouldn't we reopen? See, show cause means show cause, give reason that why shouldn't we reopen your case. We too are planning to reopen. We are in full mood to reopen your case. You give a reason why shouldn't we reopen. So assessee might have some justification. He might say, dear AO, the information which you are having, based on which you are dancing, that information nothing. You are under some misunderstanding. It is nothing like that. Please trust me. So he will give some explanation. And sometimes it might happen that AO might think, oh, this information was nothing. I was thinking what. But you are genuine and honest. It's okay, I will not reopen. This is very rare. Huh? But most of the times, income tax department, they are so smart. When they have information, generally it's a strong information. They do the formality of giving you a chance to speak. But what you speak, they feel it's all useless. They will say, you said what you wanted. I am not convinced with your explanation. I feel my information is strong. I will reopen the case. But that communication has to be done. That is step 1. In short, what law says, even though AO has got information, even though you feel it is a very strong information from rough CA, but don't be so overconfident. Give him a chance to speak. That is step one. But see, in exam, you cannot write, give him a chance to speak. How to write? Issue a show cause notice requiring the assessee to give reason as to why his case should not be reopened. Okay. No, in every case. See, his doubt is what sir, even in case of audit objection, show cause notice has to be issued. Yes, why not? See, in that audit objection, what did I say? Income tax department was audited by the comptroller and auditor general. They raised an objection that assessment is not properly done. So are they God? Just because the auditor said the audit was not the assessment was not properly done doesn't mean that it is 100% authentic thing. Assessee can argue, why, what's the problem? My assessment was properly done. Let it be as it is. So assessee should be given a chance to speak. See, what he felt, since in audit objection, comptroller and auditor general has said that some assessee's assessment was not properly done. It was under assessed. That means it is more authentic. No one is God in this earth. Okay. Everyone has got different opinion, different stands. So assessee can argue and say, my assessment was properly done. Your comptroller auditor general doesn't know anything. So in short, in every such case, assessee should be given a show cause notice. Okay. But see, when show cause notice is given, assessee has to reply within the time prescribed in the notice. Like see everywhere, you imagine like a picture, huh? See, picture means imagine some person like you, he has got something in his hand, information, then he will send one, imagine paper, show cause notice, okay. In that some time will be written that you have to reply within 10 days, 11 days, 12 days. So that time has to be mentioned and the mentioned time should be minimum 7 days, maximum 30 days. This I wanted to say. When AO issues a show cause notice, in the notice he has to mention the time within which assessee has to reply. But the mentioned time should be minimum 7 days. This is what law is saying. Means law is actually instructing AO. Don't send a show cause notice where you are forcing him reply within 2 days. Reply within 2 days. Relax. Let assessee also settle down and understand what has happened. Because imagine assessee is busy in his life and suddenly a show cause notice comes. It is a shock on the assessee also. So let the matter sink in. Let it get settled in assessee's mind. And then give minimum 7 days time. But not more than 30 days. Minimum 7, maximum 30 days. So tell me, if AO has issued a show cause notice and he told assessee reply within 12 days, it's proper. Reply within 19 days, proper. It is a proper show cause notice, okay. But if AO has given him a time of reply in 45 days, wrong. Minimum 7 and maximum 30 days. This should be the time prescribed in the notice, okay. Now, but are you understanding why this show cause notice is issued? One way assessee is given an opportunity of being heard. He is given a chance to speak. Otherwise, see, if he is not given a chance to speak, it's amounting to what we are imposing on him. We are being so overconfident with the information that we are not ready to listen to him also. That's wrong, na? Even in court, when someone is prosecuted, okay, hanged till death, even such people are given a chance to speak in front of the judge. So he should be given a chance to speak. So that's why step number 1. Okay. Now let's assume assessee was given a chance to speak and he said whatever he wanted. Now after this there are two possibilities. Either AO will be convinced, oh my God, it is like this. I was under some wrong impression only. It's okay, I will not reopen your case. And what is the other option? What nonsense excuses you are giving? Don't speak anything. Just because you are given a chance to speak, you are speaking anything? I am very confident about the information that you have done some blunder. I will reopen the case. That is other possibility. But something will be decided, na, whether to reopen or not. For that, an order has to be issued. This is also part of step 1. That after show cause formality happens, AO has to pass an order which will decide whether case has to be reopened or not. And such order should be passed within 1 month from the end of the month when assessee replied to the show cause notice. Like assessee replied on 9th of August. Assessee replied on 9th of August. So after considering the reply, AO has to pass an order within, by which date? 30th September. He replied on 9th of August. Na? So full August month you have to count. After that, 1 more month, September. So latest by 30th September, AO has to finally pass an order that I have decided to reopen your case. Or vice versa. Although we had information, but because of your reply, we plan not to reopen your case. But that decision has to be conveyed to the assessee. Otherwise, assessee will think, now what will happen, what will happen? Tell him whether you are reopening or not. One more thing is there which I will show here only. Look. These two things I explained. But see, in the law they have also written AO should do inquiry first. See, what law says, AO, you have got some information. But with the help of information, you do some extra inquiry if needed. You know why this inquiry point is there? Sometimes the information little weak. See, information is general word. Information can be strong information also. It can be strongest, it can be weak also. Like see, the example which I gave, remember last lecture? What example I gave last lecture? I have sold a property on which I made capital gain, but I didn't show capital gain in my return filed. And how I was caught? Because whenever you sell the property, the registrar will inform the IT department. And IT department comes to know Shirish Vyas has sold a property and you didn't show that in your return. So they come to know, na? Remember that example or not? So see, my example was such that they got a very strong information. Directly the registrar told IT department, Shirish Vyas has sold a property for so and so amount of crores. And they could directly see it is not there in the return. So that was a very strong information. In such case, they will not do this inquiry. You remember that example or not, property sale? But sometimes, they get some information, but it is little weak. So AO has to become confident that whether assessee has really done some blunder or not. So for that, law says, do inquiry if needed. Don't jump on the assessee. See, everything has one common logic. People should not feel that we are being harassed. Because see, we understand there are many cheaters in India. But there are honest people also. Imagine if assessing officer is given full authority. Do whatever you want. So it will amount to huge harassment on genuine people also. Na? That's why law is instructing AO. Don't directly jump on the assessee. You be confident and assured that assessee has done some blunder. So for that, first law is saying have some information. And then if the information you feel is little weak, do some inquiry. First you become confident that assessee has done some cheating. And once you are confident, issue a show cause notice where assessee will be given a chance to speak. He can explain his stand. And then if you are convinced with him, don't reopen. But if you are not convinced with him, reopen. But that decision is to be conveyed by way of an order. Here also there is one strict control. Any information which AO gets, If he wants to go into the depth of that by doing some inquiry, take the permission and do. Means whenever AO proceeds with any information, the law is saying, okay, you got the information, relax. You want to dig deeper, you want to go in further inquiry, first take the permission of CIT, CCIT. So this, see, every provision is trying to control the AO. Law is trying to say that AO control. Although we are giving power, but at the same time the power should not be misused. So it's okay, you have an information, you want to go in depth of that, you want to do further inquiry, do it. But first ask your boss. Who is the boss of AO? CIT or CCIT. And if he says, yes, this information, we cannot take it lightly, you do inquiry. And only if your boss permits, you have to do inquiry. Okay. See, here I have put asterisk mark. Means with permission you have to do. And if any means if needed. Sometimes the information itself is so strong, you don't have to do inquiry. Like my example, someone sold the property, not showing the capital gain. It is a strong information directly coming from the registrar. So their inquiry may not be done. But sometimes the information is weak, so inquiry will be done, but with the prior approval of CIT or CCIT. Okay. Then show, yes. See, whenever I say CIT or CCIT, it is either or. It is either or. But especially in this theory, when I say CIT or CCIT, it's not either or. Sometimes CIT, sometimes CCIT, but I will explain that at a later stage. I'll tell you precisely when. At this point. See, currently we are at which stage? We are at procedure. When I go to this notes section, there is one keyword OTS Gadar. There can you see one alphabet S? S for sanction. Sanction means permission. That time I will discuss in detail that whether CIT is permission or CCIT. But it is here only this tension is there. Huh? Otherwise, rest all sections, wherever I say CIT, CCIT, it can be either CIT or CCIT. Like if you remember special audit. Remember NPO and CA nominated by CIT, CCIT. Rest all places, wherever I mention CIT, CCIT, it's either or. But not here. This is the only place which place income escaping. Where sometimes CIT, sometimes CCIT, but whether CIT's permission should be taken or CCIT, that I am not explaining now. Because if I struggle to explain now, it will create problem right now, because it will be too early to speak about this point. Because there are certain things without which I cannot explain about that permission. This also I would not have mentioned right now, but she had a doubt. That sir, when you say CIT, CCIT, is it either or? Generally it is either or, but here it is not either or. Sometimes you have to take CIT's permission, sometimes CCIT. I will explain in OTS Gadar. Okay. Even that will come. One day I will be talking about hierarchy. Hierarchy means the rank of assessing officers in the IT department. Okay. At that time, I'll mention that point. Okay. See, her doubt is what you know, that law is saying, AO, you take permission of your boss, CIT, CCIT. But they are all friends only. They sit in the same office. They work together. But see, when it is duties and responsibility, seniority and juniority matters. Like you also work in office. You also know, although your boss is your friend kind of thing only. But sometimes boss will behave like a boss. That you have seen. So don't think he is my boss only. We come to the same office only. But then boss is boss. He will always show his seniority. Even though he is not the owner, he is your senior. But senior always maintains his stand, na? So her doubt was just a casual doubt that AO, CIT, they all sit together in the same office. Although they are very friendly, but then no one will take a chance. When AO has to take permission of CIT, even CIT will be little careful. Because if he just casually grants the permission, his position is also bad, na? Because he will be questioned that what work you are doing. Just as when we work in office, we are concerned about our performance, our promotion, our salary, our increment. So these people are also concerned about that, okay? So don't think AO, CIT, they are all friends only. Yes, they are friends. But when it is work, they forget the friendship. They have to show seniority, okay? But beyond a particular point, these things cannot be controlled. But then see, what law is trying to say, if complete authority is given to AO, then he will do anything. That should not happen. That's why AO, you do whatever you want, but you take the prior permission of CIT and CCIT and then do. And see, if that permission thing comes like a hurdle, AO's control will become little weak. Okay. And that's what law wants. It should not happen that AO's control is becoming so exorbitant that he's torturing general public. Okay. See here, her doubt is what in show cause notice, what did I say right now? See here. Minimum 7 days to maximum 30 days time should be provided for replying. See, actually, within how many days assessee has to reply, it will be written. It can be 14 days, 19 days, 12 days, anything. But what law says? Minimum 7 to maximum 30. Okay. Now, her doubt is what sir, this 7 and 30 days rule, is it for every show cause notice in the law or only this? Obviously, only this. If it would have been applicable to every show cause notice, then I would have told at the time of best judgment also. Remember in the last lecture, best judgment theory had come. That time also show cause notice was there. But did I mention? No. Because there, nothing like this was there. In fact, in that show cause notice of best judgment, what did I say? AO can issue any time, he can prescribe any time, but before 12 months, he has to do the formality. Okay. So, right now, this show cause notice is in income escaping assessment. The rule of 7 and 30 days is applicable here only. You don't have to generalize, okay? Then, three things are there. First, AO will do inquiry if needed with the approval of CIT, CCIT. Then he will give a show cause notice, and here you should imagine as if AO and assessee both are sitting in front and discussing. Okay, this will be a literal physical meeting. Both will discuss face to face. And then after discussion, some decision will be taken by AO, and that is called order. And this order should be passed within, I told you, 1 month from the end of the month in which assessee replied to the show cause notice. Okay, assessee replied means he might have personally attended the office of the AO. So whenever he came, it's a reply only, no? And see, reply doesn't mean you have to physically attend. Law simply says you give him a chance to speak. If he wants to write a letter, let him write a letter. But generally public, what they prefer, they want to personally meet. Because through letter, how will you convince someone? So here generally assessee will personally attend the office of the AO and he will try to convince that you are under misunderstanding. Don't reopen my case. Obviously assessee will prefer not to reopen. So he will try his level best. Now it is upon AO to get convinced or not. But whatever, AO has to convey his final decision by passing order within 1 month. And even here permission is needed. See, such a strict control law is kept. Like see, if I am AO, I will give show cause notice and I will listen to what assessee is saying. Show cause means I have to hear what assessee says. And I heard you. And thereafter, I will consult my boss. Who is my boss? CIT, CCIT. I will tell my boss, sir, that assessee, to whom I had issued a show cause notice, he said so much. I feel he has a point in what he's saying. And I think our information is little weak. We should drop the case. What do you say? Then my boss will say, no, he's trying to fool you. Don't listen to him. Means I will have to consult my boss, na? And if he says, okay, you do like this, then I will do like that. So order passing activity will be done by AO. But with the prior permission of CIT, CCIT. If he says, no, don't do like this, no, don't do like this, then I will have to follow him. In short, every action is done by AO. But who is the director? CIT, CCIT. It's like, in a movie, the actor will do the acting. But he has a director who directs him. You have to say this dialogue, then you have to give this expression, that and all. So here also, the actor who is playing the games with assessee is the AO. But he is following the directions of his boss. That's why, CITs are also called DITs, Director of Income Tax. CITs are also called DITs, Director of Income Tax. But here again, whose permission? CIT or CCIT. But it's not either or. When CIT's permission is required, when CCIT, that I will explain in the notes section as I told you, okay. So see this asterisk mark, here I have written. It is subject to permission of CIT or CCIT, okay. Anyways, regarding this permission, we will have a detailed discussion in OTS Gadar. So this is step 1. Still it's not over. Here there is an exception. In 2 cases, trust me, this theory is very important. And you will get one shock after some days. Some days means soon. That this theory which I am explaining, it has undergone many changes in the recent budget. And your bad luck is such that you have to remember the old provisions also, new provisions also. Because this time the budget of 2024 was announced little late. Budget came on 23rd of July 24. So because the budget got delayed, and budget got delayed due to elections. So because the budget had come late, there are many changes which you have to remember the change, plus you have to also remember the old rule. And especially the theory which is going on right now. I am explaining the old provisions. New provision, I am not saying it has completely changed, but there are many changes in the new theory of income escaping assessment. But my plan is what first I will make sure that your old provisions are thorough by asking you question every lecture. And once you are thorough with this, then I will explain the amendments. And as I said, it's your bad luck that you have to remember the amended provisions also and old provisions also. There will be one cutoff date, 1st September. If income escaping thing happens in real life before 1st September 24, then old provisions. Is all this you have to follow only if the AO initiates before 1st September 2024. See, don't forget, in our exam the year is April 24 to March 25. See, as you know, in income tax our year is fixed. So our questions will be targeted on previous year 24-25. And the rules have changed with effect from 1st of September. Although budget came in July, but the amendment was effective from 1st of September. So right now what I am teaching is provisions before 1st September. Precisely April, May, June, July, August. And if income escaping happens on or after 1st September, then you have to study the amended rules. And you have to study both. That's why, see, why did I inform you right now only? Don't take this for granted. Firstly, this is the most popular theory. In exam also, in real life also. Okay. Plus, it has undergone several amendments. So take it very seriously and by heart everything thoroughly. See, my duty and my point will be to explain everything conceptually and to convince you. But after that, you have to play the role of memorizing and noticing 148A, permission, CIT, CCI, everything you have to carefully notice. Okay. Step 1 is still going on. Huh? This is called complying with section 148A. Basically, 148A tells you do this, do this, do this. Actually, this section is telling the AO, 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 do this, do this, do this. Okay, understood? You have to do all this. This is written in 148A. But sometimes this formality is not to be done. Means there are 4 steps, no? So in some cases, step 1 is skipped. Directly the procedure will start with step 2, step 3, step 4. In 2 cases. Look at this. In search and faceless collection of information cases. In search and faceless collection of information cases, step 1 is not required. So tell me why. Like in search cases means you understand a raid, income tax raid. So imagine someone was raided and in his case law says no need to do all this formality. Why? Obviously the fact that you are raided, you are a criminal and you want us to give you importance. Tell me, dear SSG, why shouldn't we reopen? We are reopening. Your case will be reopened. We don't want to give you a chance even to speak. The fact that so much of gold, silver, money has been found at your premises, that means you are a big liar, big cheater, dishonest taxpayer. So, obviously you will not get a footage over here that why shouldn't we reopen your case. This will not be done only. So, directly raid parties are started with step 2. Okay. Then there is one more exception, 2 exceptions. If in case of a particular assessee, AO got the information by this method. Imagine some assessee's information AO has got. See, this information means what information? Means they have come to know that your income has escaped. You have done some manipulation, that information they have. So, if that information they got by this medium, which medium? Faceless collection of information. See, how this faceless collection of information works in real life, no one knows. It is their internal top secret matter. But people know that government keeps collecting information in faceless manner from several people. And from there they find out the evidence. So exactly how it operates, even student will not come to know. Because see, if a thief comes to know the strategy of police, then he will become more alert. So it's like thief means people are thief. They do tax evasion. And police means the department. So department will not reveal everything. But as a student, you just remember, this is one good strategy where they gather the proof about you hiding the income. And if this method has given the information, then step 1 is not required. You know, there is some flaw in the law. Flaw means mistake. I feel, this is my opinion, I feel there is a mistake in the law. Law should have kept search and survey as an exception here. Like it was here. Because see, just as in search, what did I say? Why in search cases this is not required? Because search means the law is very confident that you are a liar, you are a cheater, you are a tax evader. So that gives confidence, correct? So even survey is that authentic. Means compared to survey in this faceless COI. What is faceless COI? COI. Collection of information. So between survey and faceless collection information. Survey is more authentic. I know you don't have any idea about survey, but rough idea I gave, na? In survey, what happens? Income tax officer will give a surprise visit in my place of business. And when they personally visit and see, imagine they personally come, they see lot of cash in my drawer. So actually I am caught red-handed. Or they catch my real books of account where the real profits are disclosed. So survey is more authentic. So actually I feel in survey cases, this step should have been exempted. But law is giving importance to faceless collection of information. See, this faceless collection of information, although they are very confident about this strategy, but it is not that authentic as survey. Anyways, I am just sharing my opinion that I feel there is some flaw in the law. Flaw in the law means mistake in the law. But anyways, we cannot change the law. Sometimes even if there are some unusual and irrational thing in the law, as a student we don't have any option but to by heart it. See, here it was proper. Here they clearly said in search and survey cases, we don't require any information, we will directly act on you. Okay. But same way here also it should have been like this, that in search and survey cases, this step will not be followed. But anyways, let's not argue with the law. Let's accept the law as it is. So tell me, what will you remember? Forget my opinion. This step 1 is not required when? In search cases and faceless collection of information cases. So if in the question you find someone was raided or someone's faceless collection of information has given a strong information to AO, then you can mention this step is not required. In short, 148A need not be complied. How to say? 148A need not be complied. Okay. So this is step 1. Then step 2, can you guess? See, some things can go as per common sense. Na? See, are you understanding what is the theme going on right now? In income escaping, always remember the theme that there was an assessee who did cheating, who had hidden the income, but government did not take the action on time. Now government is acting late. So this is the theme of the theory. So you logically think, now what should be the steps? Means first step I told you. Now you think logically what should be the other step? No, the assessee should reply, mean this is done, na? See, in what is the conclusion of step 1? An order will be passed where there are two possibilities. Order means it is the decision of the AO, which will say either your case is reopened or not reopened. So what is the conclusion of step 1? Either his case will be reopened or it will not be reopened. So tell me, if it is not reopened, enjoy, relax, chill. Although you were scared for some time, but they have decided not to reopen. So it is a happy ending for assessee. But what if AO decide, no, we are going to reopen the case? So tell me, what should be the next step? So see, now the next step, you know why I asked you to guess? Because there is something which you can never imagine, never even imagine that this will happen now. You know in next step what will happen? AO will require the assessee to file the return of that year. The year where you hidden the income. The year where the income had escaped. That year's return you will be required to file. You will have to file the return. Okay, let's take that example. With example, it can be better understood. You know, I gave example of I sold a property. Take that example as a base because it will be very easy for you to understand. So I repeat the example. I sold a property, I made huge capital gain. But I didn't show it in the return because I didn't want to pay the tax. Okay. And government came to know. How they came to know? Repeat, I know you know, but repeat. When I sell the property, I have to go for registration to the registrar. The stamp duty authorities, they inform IT department and they will check my return and in the return capital gains was missing. So they came to know Shirish Vyas has hidden capital gain income. So capital gain has escaped tax. Okay. So they came to know. Now let's assume that sale of property happened in 2021. I'm just taking an example. I sold a property in financial year 2021 and I didn't show it in the return. And they came to know now. See, in income escaping, you will always notice that they are discovering late. See, if they would have known on time, they would have done regular assessment only. Don't forget, I am teaching income escaping. Your department is acting late. So, when did I sell the property in my example? 2021. And we are in which year right now? 24. Now they came to know about my cheating. So that is why income escaping assessment. Huh? So tell me, first they will do this formality with me. Okay. Now you know what they will say. Shirish Vyas, you have to file the return of 2021. This is the next step. I will be issued a notice under section 148 where I will be asked, dear Shirish Vyas, you have to file the return of 2021. Means that year when you sold the property for which we have the information that you had not paid the tax. So the doubt will be what? Why I have to file the return now? I had already filed the return. Are you understanding my example? Yeah. I had already filed a return. In my return only he checked that capital gain was missing. When they checked my return, coaching class income was shown properly. But they found where is capital gain? They found capital gain missing where? In the return only. That means I had already filed the return. But now after they discover my cheating, they are asking me to file the return again. That is notice under 148. But why? No. You are going in wrong direction. You are trying to justify assessee. If assessee wants to justify that so and so was a problem, then he was given a chance. That step we have crossed. See, her answer is in which direction, where assessee is trying to show his innocence, etc. But all that happened in step 1. Whatever importance was to be given to assessee, maybe he's innocent, poor guy, all that happened in step 1. Now, AO has passed an order to decide, he has passed an order which decides that your case will be reopened. Because I don't get convinced with your innocence. You are a culprit. So, that has been decided. Now, my question is, in step 2, he is asking me to file the return. And you know why this doubt is coming? Because I had already filed the return. Now they are asking me to file the return. So see, generally a student's answer is what sir, they are asking you to file the return. At least you should pay the tax now. That time in your return you have shown only your coaching class profit. You didn't show capital gain. You didn't show now you report capital gain. It is not in this hopes that they are asking me to file the return. It is not under the hope that now Shirish will show capital gains. They are not hoping. I will still not show capital gains. They don't care now. The purpose of asking me to file the return is what This is reopening of a case. When department do not take action on time, my file gets closed. And now if they want to reopen, they have to reopen from the scratch. I might argue, what return? I had filed the return at that time. Okay, Shirish, you had filed the return, but we didn't take the action that time. So your file is closed. Closed means literally there is nothing like closing. In legal language, we say that although Shirish, you had filed a return, we know, but we didn't take the action on time now. And that 12 months from the end of AI has passed away. So your file gets closed. Now we are opening your file again. And to open the case again, you have to file the return again. Although it sounds like a formality, but you have to do it. So actually, see, this return is a mere formality. You know, many people, what they do? They file the same return which they had filed earlier. In fact, they don't even file the return. You know, they submit a letter. In response to your notice under 148, I would like to say, please consider my old return as this return. They just give a letter, and giving a letter is also sufficient compliance. You know, this is actually a formality. Many people, they say, why will I show capital gain? Although I was given a show cause notice, still I don't want to show my income of capital gain. He will not show. He will file the same return which he had filed earlier. But this formality is to be done because it is a reopening. Feel the word reopen means reopen, restart. Restart means refile the return. That's why return is to be filed. See, these concepts people don't know. Huh? You ask, even if you ask your boss, 90% of your bosses will not be able to say. They will say, yeah, it is a rule. You know how people take income, this is a rule. But in my so many years, I investigated so why? Because from my childhood only, my nature is like this. Why like this? It is like, but why? So that tendency has made me discover the logic. It is not even written in the act. Huh? In the act, if you say, they will write, a notice will be given where assessee will be required to file the return. But why? That they don't write in the law, na? Okay. So now you know why. Because since we are reopening, see, I remember last lecture I told you, this theory is called reopening. Because when government has not taken the action on time, your file is automatically closed. And when closed files are opened, we say it's reopen, and re means you have to restart. No, your timelines will come. Wait. See, that 12 months was the deadline for regular assessment. No? Now it is belated assessment. Here again some timelines will come. Wait. Let some things get over, then automatically your doubt will disappear. Because see, we are in work in progress stage right now. Okay. Let it get finished, then certain doubts will automatically get disappeared. Okay. So in short, you will be sent a notice under 148 wherein you will be required to file the return. Don't mess up with the section. Huh? This was 148A. Now it is plain 148. This was show cause notice. Why we should not reopen your case? Tell me why. And here, see, we decided to reopen. Now, to reopen, you refile the return. Okay. Now tell me, this return, when will assessee file? Time limit. And this notice, when will AO issue? Understand carefully. Tell me who is issuing the notice? AO. Who will file the return? Assessee. Now the question is when? When will AO send the notice? Anytime throughout your life? After 50 years he will say, dear Shirish, now we have become very old. But remember when you were young, you have sold a property and we have come to know about that. So you file the return of that year, your young age return. Means there has to be time limit, na? When will AO send notice under 148? And when will assessee file the return in response to that? So see, AO will send the notice within 3 years from the end of relevant AY. This is the deadline. Means every AO can reopen your case maximum within 3 years. That means imagine that property which I sold, the capital gain of which I didn't show in the return, and after that, what was that year I said? Previous year 2021. In my example, I sold the property in 2021. So that 2021 was the year when I sold the property. And when the transaction happened, it's the previous year. So previous year 2021. So what will be the AY? 21-22. And after AY, imagine 5-6 years have passed away. Then they cannot do anything. Then I will myself go and say, dear AO, I fooled you. You know, I sold a big property, I made crores of gain. I didn't even show, you didn't even come to know. Enjoy. Means they cannot do, because they will be helpless. Whatever they want to do, they have to do maximum within 3 years. You know, last lecture you had a doubt that how long they can take late action. See, in income escaping assessment, as I said, it is belated action. But belated means what? See, don't forget the main theme. There are two assessments, timely, belated. Timely assessment has got regular best judgment, and that has to be done within 12 months from the end of AY. When the year is fresh, that time fresh AY within 12 months. That is timely. But here it is belated. But belated can be conducted within 3 years only, not beyond that. Sometimes it goes beyond, but generally within 3 years only they have to act. Because see, what law feels, we understand department is so busy and there are so many people in India doing tax evasion. Everyone cannot be caught on time. But there should be a limit for late action also, na? And what is the limit? Maximum 3 years. Okay. 3 years from the end of relevant AY. Say relevant AY. You know why relevant? See, don't we say assessee has to file the return of that year, that means when I sold the property, that. But in casual English we say that year, that. But in proper sophisticated language we say relevant. Means year when did I sell the property? 2021. So that year's return I have to file. And from that relevant AY, 3 years is counted. Okay. So if someone says, how long a person should be scared? So scared of what? Obviously, only those people will be scared who have done manipulation. So imagine I have done lot of blunders in my return. I have hidden so many incomes. So how long I should be scared? First initial 12 months I will be super scared. This is which 12 months? See, I'll show with drawing only. Look here, look. Imagine in this previous year, I want crores of income and I not shown only. So tell me how long I should be scared. What is a scary thing? For people, scary thing is what? Regular, best judge. Summary is not scary. Summary is loving. Regular, best judgment and income escaping. These are the assessments, huh? Correct? So tell me how long you should be scared. For regular and best judgment, after AY till year. Remember 12 months, that old theory? So till this date, I should be super scared. You know, because till this date, they can take the action without even they having any information. Even if they doubt me, they will drill me. Come to my office, Shirish Vyas. You think you are a good boy? You are a bad boy, come. Means on the basis of doubt also they can initiate the action. Because it is timely. You understand? Timely means 12 months thing. But once this 12 months has passed away, I should be scared, but not super scared. Little scared. Why my fear has reduced? Because now I will think only if they have information, they will disturb me. If they don't have the information about my income escaping, they cannot do anything. So my fear is reduced. But I have to be scared. What if they come to know about my hiding of income? Then they can do anything. But that also maximum till the end of 3 years. So understand this time properly. See, if you understand the concept, you can address any situation. Wait, he has a doubt. Yeah. Yeah, that's what. See, he's putting more precisely. Right now, what did I say? I earned income in this year. I have not disclosed the income. Okay. So then I asked, na, how long you should be scared? Obviously, after the due date. Precisely till due date, they will never disturb me because till due date, I have to file the return. Na? So after the due date of the return of this previous year, after the due date of the return, I should remain scared only. But till the expiry of 12 months, super scared. Why? Because in regular assessment, best judgment, they don't have any condition. They can directly attack me. And if they don't do, I am lucky. But they can directly attack me. But that is still 12 months. And after 12 months, the time has gone. So they can attack me, but directly attacked or with information. With information, okay. But that also till the end of 3 years. So that means after 3 years, they cannot do anything. They cannot do anything. I am saved. Okay. That's why, people wait only. God, just this 3 years pass away. Means some people have done big, big blunders. So once that 3 years passes away, they don't have to worry. See, sometimes the 3 years limit doesn't apply. Huh? Some exception will come, but in general, you should be scared till 3 years. Okay. Okay, see, her doubt is what that this return which you are asked to file. I told why you have to file the return, although you already filed, because it is reopening means you have to restart the process. So that I told you. But her doubt is what when this return is filed, this return is called what return? This is called return under section 148. If you see online portal of income tax, you will find one option written under 139.1, 142.1, 148. You have to click on 148. Okay. Generally, there are three returns: 139.1, 142.1, and 148. 139.1 is when you voluntarily file, and 142.1 is generally they remind you, please file the return, please file. And 148 return is when you are caught. They have some information about you escaping the tax. Okay. So when you really file return in real life, there will be one option 148. People call it as return under 148. Actually 148 is a section for notice. And in response to that notice, we file the return. So in casually, you can say return under 148. In office also, when you do articles, people say 148 return. But 148 is not written actually. 148 is a section where you receive a notice where you are asked to file the return. Okay. Yeah. See, her doubt is what Her doubt is extension of my example. What example I gave? I sold a big property, I made good capital gain. Okay. But I didn't show in the return. And they came to know how? Because the registrar informed the IT department, they came to know. Now, her doubt is what Sir, it is possible that assessee might not be knowing that on this I have to pay the tax. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. Means assessee says, see, all this you have to say in show cause notice. When this step happens, assessee is given the chance, na? Dear Shirish, why didn't you show the capital gain? So I can behave innocent. I didn't know that capital gain is also to be reported. Sorry, I swear I didn't know. However innocent I am, genuinely I was that dumb that I was not knowing that capital gain is also be reported. They will say, dear assessee, ignorance of law is not an excuse. And if you don't have the knowledge of law, consult a chartered accountant. They know everything. And even if they don't know, that is not an excuse. Don't we say ignorance of law is not an excuse. So if I give this excuse in show cause, it will not be valid. They will say, see, you are not knowing that I have to pay the tax. What nonsense. Okay, you are not knowing, you are bad. Now, worse. You didn't know, na? Now see the worst. Even that excuse they will not hold valid. Na? See, you have to justify my income has not escaped. Only if you can justify, your case will be dropped. But you giving any nonsense reason, they are not going to listen. See, here, when assessee can win, when he can convince you are having false information. My income has been properly reported, I have paid the tax properly. Nothing has escaped. You are having some wrong, weak information. If I can convince it, which is very rare in real life, if that would have been the case, they will also never waste the time. But rarely if I can convince my income has not escaped, then I will succeed here. Wait. And once I succeed here, the process will stop here only. But that's a very rare scenario, okay? But revising the return as a deadline, na? Okay, see, look here, look here. Our doubt is what you know, that I didn't show the capital gain in my return. Remember the year also. In my example, 2021 was the year when I sold a property, I made capital gain, okay? Now her doubt is what you know. But sir, now in return you can show capital gain, na? So what? After you being caught, you showing, what is the purpose? In this return, whether you show or you don't show, go to hell. You will be taxed. I told you this return is a formality. In this new return, even if you don't show capital gain, they have come to know, na, they are going to tax me. As I said, this return is a pure formality. If you are ready to show the capital gain now, welcome. But even if you don't show, go to hell. You will be taxed because we got the information and you were given a chance to speak, but you spoke anything nonsense, and we are confident that you have escaped tax, you have to pay tax now. So, this return is a formality. Okay, yes, I was talking about what you know. What is the time limit of this? 3 years from the end of, don't say AY, relevant AY. See, when I was teaching regular assessment based judgment, I said 12 months from the end of AY. I didn't use the word relevant. Because regular and based judgment means the year is freshly got over. You have freshly filed the return. So the year is fresh. So we have to just say AY. But these actions are taken at the fresh stage or the later stage. Later stage. So we have to say that year, that year. So that means relevant. Okay. So 3 years from the end of relevant AY, this notice will be sent. And here you will be required to file the return. But then when will you file the return? Within 3 months. No. Here nothing like mentioned. When you get this notice, you have to reply within 3 months. 3 months from end of the month when the notice was issued. Imagine AO issued the notice on 9th July. Which notice? 148. Imagine AO issued the notice on 9th July. So 9th July notice was issued. So how will you count 3 months? Count full July. End the July. End July. End July end. Then August, September, October. So latest by the end of October, my return should be submitted. See, 3 months is from the end of the month in which notice was issued. That means, see, if notice was issued on 9th of July, I can file the return on 12th of July also. That whole July is there. After ending July, August, September, October, 3 more months. within this duration I have to submit the return. Here naturally a student may ask, sir, what if I don't file the return? It's your loss. Then he will not involve you in further process. He will do best judgment. Here also best judgment can happen. Best judgment means then if you are not ready to file the return only, then what will you say? Okay, then go to hell. As I have already got the information about your capital gain, I will just pass the order and convey you pay the tax. Means there will be one meeting now. He will not involve you in the meeting. Okay. If you don't file the return. But you know, this is just imaginary thing. Students ask me, that's why I am addressing this point. 99% every person will file the return because see, these are severe situations. Here, you know, you cannot take lightly. You are caught. You are caught means now you cannot play games with them. You have to file the return. Still, if you say, what if I don't file the return? Okay. They are not dependent upon you. If you are not ready to file the return, that means you are not cooperating. Then they will pass the order whatever they think fit. But generally people will file the return. Now tell me what will happen after I file the return. Next step. Now he will call me in the office for a discussion. See, here also I was called in the office. But here the discussion was limited to tell me, why shouldn't I reopen your? Tell me. The discussion was restricted to that. Now it has been decided that your case is reopened. Now he is calling once again to discuss the calculation of capital gains. Now it is computation meeting. In step 3. Step 3, he will organize one more meeting. But what is the purpose of this meeting? Computation. Because see, here in my example that capital gain, sale of property. Now there is a task of computing the capital gain where he will require my help. He will ask me when did you purchase the property, indexation. Remember capital gain little bit. I will teach full capital gain, but you have some knowledge, na? So he will discuss about when did you purchase the property, what was the cost of the property, any improvement done in the property, blah blah blah. All discussion in that he has to involve me. He cannot ignore me there. Yes, if I don't file the return, he will ignore me. Then he will do what he thinks fit. But after I file the return, he has to call me now. And how will he call me? He will give me a phone call? No, they don't give a phone call. They send a notice. So one more notice. Notice under 143.2. Oh my God, this notice. How come this notice again? See, what income tax department has done, you know, whenever they want to call the assessee for discussion in the income computation, they have got a standard letter 143.2. Only thing is, some people are called for regular assessment, some are called for late assessment. But the purpose is to call and discuss the computation of the income, na? So don't be surprised, the section is coincidentally the same. It's not something wrong I have written. So whether you are regularly assessed or late assessed, but ultimately you are assessed. Feel the common word. Whether you are timely assessed or late assessed, but you are being assessed. And to assess, there is a common notice 143.2 where you have to attend the office. You know, in 143.2, in my regular assessment, what time I gave? This notice should be received. You know, I hammered on the word, it should be received by the assessee within 3 months from the end of the year in which new return was filed. New return. Which new return? This one. Follow the sequence. See, in step 2, I was sent a notice. Then I filed a return. Let's assume I filed a return on 17th of December. I filed a return on 17th of December. So how will you count this? End the whole year. End of the year, March. After the April, May, June. So by 30th June, they should make sure that I receive this notice. Which notice? 143.2. Here what I have to do? Attend the office. Why? Because capital gain calculation has to be discussed with me. And if I don't attend, it is my loss only. He will take any cost of acquisition, indexation, anything. So I want that at least if they are taxing me, involve me. Okay. See, generally students have a doubt. Sir, why again meeting? So see, that's why I clarify very clearly. See, in step 1, the meeting was not about computation. The step 1 was for what? To discuss whether your case should be reopened or not. Here you are given chance to prove your innocence. If you can prove, it's okay. And if you cannot prove, it will be reopened. So that decision making was happening. But once decided to reopen, computation is another task. So for that, another meeting. That is in step number 3. Okay. Are you noticing? So many time limits are coming. Sections are coming. One day you will believe, sir is normal. When he is insisting, revise income, revise. Initially you will feel he is mad. So much he says revise, revise, revise. Every day he messages on WhatsApp. Please do the homework, please revise. I think there is some problem with the sir. Initially you will feel. Soon you will discover. Thank God, sir is behind us. At least little bit I am studying. Otherwise this theory, you will be so messed up. You will eventually leave for option. And leave for option means gone. This comes in exam. And if you don't know all this thing, then what CA you have become? CA means this only. Just a moment. Okay, now see, in this section, he will send a notice asking you to attend the office. But when to attend? It will be written in the letter. See, whenever you have doubt that they are sending me notice to do this, that, whatever. So when to do that? When to reply? So always it is mentioned in the notice. It's like this notice was requiring to file the return. Here it's not mentioned in the notice when to file the return. The law has defined only within 3 months. But if I don't specify anything, then it is understood that when to respond, it will be specified in the notice. But here don't ask me, sir, when to file the return. It will not be specified in the notice also. Although they mention to be on safer side, but even if not mentioned, it has been made fixed by the law. Any person getting notice under 148 has to file the return within 3 months from the end of the month when notice was issued. Okay. Are you noticing here it was end of the month? Sometimes it will be end of the year, sometimes end of the month. Such minute detailing should be there in your brain also. Okay. So step 3 is over. Okay. I got a notice to attend the office. Now what will happen? Step 4. Think logically. I will attend the office. I will discuss. Look here. I went to the office. See, this is me. This is me. I am sitting on a chair. Okay. It looks like I am standing, but I am sitting on a chair. And here, he is asking me various questions. Okay, Shirish, you are caught, na? You sold a big property. You made huge gain. Tell me the selling price. Tell me the cost of acquisition. You know, capital gain computation. So then short term, long term, everything will be discussed and an order will be passed. See, computation of income is always done on an order. Okay. And you know how this order will be passed? Look. In the order, this order will be called order under section 147. First, they will take the past income as a base. See, I had hidden capital gain now. But I had shown my coaching classes profits. So what profits I already reported, that they will take at the base. Plus the hidden income they will add. And income will be calculated afresh totally. You know why? They cannot do like this. They will target only that particular income. Because see, many times the tax is calculated as per slab rates. And slabs are applied on particular income or total income. Total income. Although my capital gain example you might feel, but sir, capital gain there is a fixed rate, na 20%, etc. Okay. But see, that is my example. But many times imagine some commission income is caught, someone is hidden rent income. So they cannot tax rent commission individually, na? Tax is calculated on totality. As you know, when you apply slab rates, what are the slab rates? Up to 2,50,000, 0%, 2,50,000 to 5 lakhs, 5%, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, 20%, about 10 lakhs, 30%. That slabs you have to apply not on particular item of income, it's on total. So although see, this past income is the income on which I have already paid the tax, but still it has to be taken as a base, and then the hidden income will be added, and the tax will be calculated totally afresh, and then they will say, okay, this is your total tax, but something you already paid, so you deduct it, pay the balance. So see, that will be called demand. So in short, calculation will be not done on particular income. Calculation once done, it will be done of the total 5 heads of income. All 5 heads will be brought together. Although what I did was only one item of income, but they will accumulate everything, calculate the whole tax, and then whatever I paid, they will deduct and balance will be demanded. Along with interest and penalty also. You know, there is penalty for hiding the income. There is one section 270 capital A. There is one section 270 capital A, penalty for underreporting. Penalty for underreporting your income. But how much penalty you have to pay, I will not explain now. If I go into this, we will get distracted. We will get diverted. And anyways, one day I will have to teach you this now. Right now I am just making you aware that in such cases, along with the tax, interest, you also have to pay penalty for hiding the income under section, at least remember the section 270A, okay. And then yeah, so this order will be passed and there will be demand. Obviously your refund is not possible. Here you are caught for your escapement of the income, so obviously they will demand only, okay. Now the next question is, this order should be passed within what time? You know, the topics which I am taking initially, every topic is having some time limits. Please focus on that. Trust me, if you support me, you will be confident in the time limits. Otherwise, you will see general people studying DT, they are scared and terrified and horrified by time limits. But support me, you will never be scared. Support means same, revise and come. Video lecture students, it's a request to you. I cannot monitor you people whether you are revising or not. To my face-to-face students, I can ask the question and assure whether they are revising or not. Video lecture, how will I check them? So I can just request you, please revise and then watch another video, okay? See, I am really concerned because video lecture tendency is what you know. Once you watch the video, you feel it like a liability. Finish the next, finish the next, finish. But then you are just doing the formality. In fact, every time you start a new video, you have to recap the rules of the previous video and then the new video. Just the way I am assuring in face-to-face lecture, okay? Even video lecture student, I am not able to check the homework also. So please do the homework also. Huh? Okay, now where were we? Yeah. What is the time for passing the order? No, this 3 years was time to reopen. Now anything which reopens has to close. Reopening time, reopen in 3 years. But now to close and wrap up, that is the next time coming. See, don't think in 3 years I will pass the order. What was this 3 years for? For sending the notice. This notice is a sign of reopening. And reopen means open. Now what I am asking, when to close? Anything which is open cannot be kept open. It has to be closed. So when to close it? 12 months. Guess from where? Why did I take a pause? 12 months is okay. From what? From where? Which notice? There are so many notices. So see, generally what you will feel, sir is saying 12 months, so you will count it from the previous step. Because normally the things go in sequence. Step 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So 4 will be counted from 3. So this is a natural thing and nothing wrong in that. We are natural human being, we will think naturally only. We are not insane, okay. But here the time is little insane. Here 12 months is not counted from here. Listen carefully. 12 months from the end of the year, when assessee received notice under 148. Whenever assessee receives notice under 148, from the end of that year, 12 months are counted. I will justify also. But isn't it weird? And I'll share you my past experience. Every batch, whenever lectures are there, I have the habit of asking the question. So whenever I ask the question of, tell me when this order will be passed, students will immediately say 12 months. Then they hang up. After 12 months, they are not able to say. Means even if I taught you, this is generally forgotten. So give serious effort to remember. How to calculate 12 months here? From the end of the year when notice under section 148 was received by the assessee. Tell me the logic behind this. Why government is let me show you this thing, beta. See this. Why government is counting 12 months from here? No, see, this 12 months can go beyond this also. Huh? See, 3 years was the deadline for what? Issuing notice. Okay, now my 12 months can go beyond 3 years also. Don't you worry about that. See, law has put a deadline for reopening. Reopening, not for closing. Closing can go beyond 3 years also. So even if this notice was issued at the dead end. Dead end means say 31st of March also. Still it's valid. This is valid. But after that 12 months time, see, my question is what? 12 months you are counting from here, why? See, there should be something going in government's mind. Or kind of that only. See, if law counts this 12 months from the previous step. What was the previous step? 143.2 notice was issued, okay. So if 12 months is counted from the previous step, 12 months will go far away. And government doesn't want to drag it. See, already assess is caught late. See, in my example, when did I sell the property? Come on. When did I sell the property? 2021. So I sold the property in 2021, but income tax department was sleeping till now. Now they are waking up in 24. So already they have caught me so late. So now government says, sorry, now law says, don't delay further now. Already Shirish Vyas, the one who has sold the property in 2021, is caught so late, say in the year 24. Now after you have caught him, don't delay much. So the moment Shirish comes to know that I am caught, means when I receive 148. See, the moment when I receive this notice, that is confirmation that I am gone. See, this was just talks. Wait. In step 1, we were just talking whether to reopen, not to reopen, reopen, not to reopen. And many times, after this, something might not happen only. But once I receive this letter, that's a confirmation. About what? Now they are not going to leave me. Because 148 is notice is telling me to file the return. And return means they don't want return to scrap it. They want to do something on that. So once I get the notice, it's a confirmation that I am gone. So from here, law says finish in 12 months. Because this is actually giving me confirmation. See, they cannot count from here. Because here what is happening? We are just deciding. Tell me you're honest or you're a liar. If you're honest, if you're innocent, we'll leave you. If you're not innocent, we'll reopen. So here we are just discussing whether to reopen or not, reopen or not. But what is the confirmation that it's finally reopened? This notice. And this confirmation is received when when I actually received this notice at my house. Oh, 148 I received means confirm I am gone now. And once assessee is confirmed that is gone, from there 12 months. Because see, 12 months should get over as early as possible. And the earliest is this only. See, if it is counted from here, it will be delayed. And law doesn't want to delay that 12 months beyond a particular level. Because already you are caught late. See, I am justifying why not from here. Because 12 months will go very far away. And why not from step 1? Because it is not a confirmation. Here we were just talking whether to reopen or not, reopen or not. The actual confirmation is this notice. And that also when you receive this notice. See, in the law they have written 12 months from the end of the year when this notice is received by the assessee. When assessee receives the notice, he is made aware that you are gone now. Be prepared for the taxes. Okay. So from that day, you have to calculate 12 months. Not from that day, end of the year. So repeat, 12 months from end of the year. See, it's always end of the year kind of a. End of the year in which notice under 148 was received by the assessee. Okay. It was not from the date when they sent me the notice. When I received. Because they sending, what's the use? When I receive, I get the confirmation that I'm gone. And once assessee is made aware that you're gone, pass the order within 12 months. Okay. Yes, here 12 months counting is from received date. See, generally there is very less difference between issued and received date. Means notice is issued on one day, on a particular day, and within 2-3 days maximum you will receive. And generally nowadays email communication, next moment you will receive. Sent, received. But technically your 12 months is based on when they issue the notice or when I receive the notice. When I receive. So for example, they issued on 29th March. I received on 9th April. So 9th April becomes a base. And 9th April means end of the year. April is just a start. End of the year is 31st March. After the 12 months. So this 12 months depends upon when I actually received. But in 3 years, they have to issue. What was this 3 years? Time for sending 148 notice. So in 3 years, department has to just issue. Like see, in 3 years they issued, but I received late. It's okay. Because in the law what they've written, within 3 years, issue notice under 148. Okay. So tell me if I receive after 3 years, it's okay. But if I receive after 3 years, receiving date becomes a base for counting 12 months. Notice everything carefully. Yeah? See, these are such things, for the first time, so many things are together. Na? But give some time to sink in. Slowly, after some time, you will find it's nothing. Initially, it looks like a big thing. Soon it will become nothing. Okay. Provided you revise and come every lecture. See, look here. Wait. I'll come to that point. Wait. Right now, it will break the rhythm. I'll come to that point. Yeah. 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 Yeah, even that came with the logic. Correct. Yes. Yes. Correct. That's why the counting of 12 months doesn't depend upon your attending, not attending, etc. See, she is giving one more justification that 12 months cannot be connected with attending the office. Huh? Who knows what if he doesn't attend? He may not attend also. No? Generally, people do attend. But what if he doesn't attend? So 12 months is not linked with this. 12 months is linked with he receiving notice. And if department issues, he will receive. So 148 notice he will receive. Whether he will reply or not, that's his character. But department will make sure that he receives. And the moment he receives from that 12 months. Okay. Even this is the right way of thinking. Okay. But basically, law doesn't want to go the time far away. It should get over fast. So that is also one reason that if you take this as a base, the time will expire fast. And this is a later step. From that 12 months, it will go further later. Okay. Yes, correct. See, her doubt is what? If assessor does not file the return, he is not filing the return. Don't file, then he will not be called in the office, directly based judgment. See, in any stage, you feel assessor is not cooperating, best judgment. But here, even if AO does best judgment without involving the assessee, section is 147 only. Yeah? See, when timely action is taken, if you don't cooperate 144, cooperate 143. But that is when timely action. But when the action is taken late, so whether you cooperate or don't cooperate, section remains 147 only. So see, I want you to analyze properly assessment timely and late. And in timely assessment, if you are cooperative, 143. Non-cooperative, 144. But that is timely, within 12 months from the end of AY, fresh AY, okay. And late action, whether you cooperate or you don't cooperate, order is under 147, okay. But for 147, first you have to reopen and then you have to close. Reopen in 3 years, close in 12 months. Open in 3 years, close in 12 months. You understand this? Open in 3 years, close in 12 months. See here, in 3 years I was reopening. AO reopened and then he closed the case in 12 months. Okay. Yes, the procedure of computation will be done as usual. Yes. Wait. Your doubt will be addressed more in detail at this point. Huh? Right now, actually, I don't want to comment because it will go on and on. See here. In Gadar, can you see G? At that time, I will discuss that point. Okay. Right now, actually, I ignored you. Why? Because if I start that explanation, we will get diverted. Certain things are anyways going to come. Okay. But this will come at what stage? Gadar, G, G, G. That time your point will come. So that time we'll discuss in detail. Okay. What were you saying? 147, no? Yeah. That's what I said, na? See here, even if, see in income escaping, even if assessee doesn't cooperate, section will be 147 only. Here don't say 144. See, 144 is used when for timely actions, non-cooperation. See, you should understand which section. Tell me if someone tells you, my assessment was done under 143. That means what? He filed a return and he was caught immediately. And he was involved in the assessment and 143. And someone says, my assessment was done under 144. Again, he was caught on time, but he was non-cooperative. That's why 144. But if someone says, my assessment was done under 147, so that automatically implies what? Oh, that means you did cheating. You are not caught on time. You are nicely enjoying. And later on, government realized you are cheating. You are caught late. This automatically should come to your mind once you hear someone's assessment was done under 147. See, by heart there are three famous assessments: regular, best judgment, income escaping. Don't count summary assessment. That is as good as no assessment. So what are the three assessments? Regular, best judgment, income escape. And regular and best judgment, I am keeping it combined. See, that is timely assessment. But for cooperative people, regular. Non-cooperative, best judgment. And another one is a late assessment. That is what which is going on right now. Okay. 4 steps are thorough. Now see, summary of 4 steps. Your doubt will also come here. Summary. See why it is necessary to give all at a glance. Because see, till now I was explaining every page, different points were there. Multiple pages. See, I want you to see all at one glance. Okay. So repeat. What was the first step? Comply with section 148A, where assessee will be given a good chance to speak. You can prove your innocence. You can prove AO as wrong, that your information is hopeless, I am honest. So that chance you are given to speak. Okay. So that is step 1. Wait. Comply with section 148A. In this also there were 3 steps. First, inquiry if any. Indirectly law is saying if the information from rough CA is little weak, AO should dig more by doing inquiry. But for that also he needs a prior approval of CIT, CCIT. Okay. And then tell me 3 things of 140-day. Then show cause notice. Okay. Show cause notice, assessee will be asked to give reason why his case should not be reopened, and within what time assessee has to reply. It will be mentioned in the notice. But the mentioned time should be minimum 7, maximum 30 days. And then assessee, he will reply. He will try to show he is innocent. He is innocent. So if he is really innocent, AO will pass an order saying that we will not reopen. And if he is not innocent, AO will pass an order saying that I will reopen. But that order passing should happen within 1 month. Within 1 month. See, forgot 1 month. See here. 1 month from end of the month when assessee replied to show cause. Assessee might have visited AO, to reply, please leave me, I am innocent, please, please, please. So whenever he replied, from the end of that month, within 1 month, an order will be passed. Okay. Then, wait, very good. So this is, and again, before passing the order, prior approval of CID, CCID is required. So this is step 1. Okay. Then, what was step 2? See, here decision making was done, whether he is innocent, should we leave him or we should not leave him. We were deciding. Now, once we decide, no, we should not leave him, his case has to be reopened. So, what comes in the next step then? Send a notice under, wait, one thing about. Step 1 is not required in some cases. In search and faceless collection of information cases. Here I pointed out one mistake in the law. Actually, search and survey cases, step 1 was to be exempted. But what lawyer said, no. In search cases, step 1 is exempted, even in faceless COI, collection information. But see, faceless collection information is simply collection of information. It is not that authentic thing that they can say you are a liar only, you are a cheater only. So this is what I feel it's a mistake in the law. Ideally it should be survey case, because in survey cases, they become more confident about your blunders. But anyways, this is argumentative point. We cannot argue with the law. You have to just remember that in search and faceless collection information cases, step 1 is not required. Then step 2, what will happen? A notice under 148 will be sent asking you to file the return. So tell me, notice will be sent when? Within 3 years from the end of relevant AY. The year when you had hidden the capital gain in my example, from the end of that relevant AY, within 3 years, notice will be issued by AO 148. And this will require you to file the return. And this notice is also called reopening notice. It is also called reopening notice. Reopening, restart, refile the return. And then you will file the return when? 3 months from the end of the month when notice was issued. So what was the time? Wait. They will send within 3 years. I will file within 3 months. They means AO, AO. AO will send within 3 years. I will file within 3 months. See, try to use visual memory. Sometimes with visual memory you remember 3 and 3. But this is 3 years, huh? This is 3 months, huh? So they will send within 3 years. And they will send. I may receive late. They will send within 3 years. And then I will file the return within 3 months from the end of the month when the notice was issued. So here it is, law is written end of the month when notice was. Here received word has come only here, where last step in 12 months. Here in the law they say 3 months from end of the month when notice was issued. Tell me, in real life, how do you come to know what is the issue date and receive date? See, when you see the real life notice, they have mentioned some date. So that becomes date of issue. And when physically it came to my house by speed post, let's assume it has come by post. They can send email also. But email, then there is no point of issuing receipt. Comes on the same day, immediately in a moment you will receive the mail. Okay. But imagine speed post. So how will you come to know issued and received date? Issued date is written on the letter. The date mentioned and printed is the issued date. And when you physically receive the letter, it's a received date. And received has come only in this 12 months. Okay. And attend the office notice also, received word has come. See the next step, look. In step 3, what happens? 143 to notice. Assessee should receive within 3 months from end of the year when he filed the new return. Actually, law doesn't say new return. Return in response to notice under section 148. You want to listen to the actual language? See. Notice under 143(2) should be received by the assessee within 3 months from the end of the year when return in response to notice under 148 was filed by the assessee. It is such a long sentence. In simple language, whenever you filed a new return, new means this one. Whenever you filed a new return, return filing has a date. So not from the date, from the end of the year. After that 3 months, you should receive this notice. And this will ask you to attend. And now I have to attend to discuss the computation. Okay. And when to attend, it will be mentioned in the letter. And then after I attend, what will happen? Talking, discussion about computation, and then order will be passed. In order, they will take my income which had already shown as the base, plus the hidden income will be added. And total incomes, total tax will be computed. And whatever you paid earlier, it will be deducted, balance will be demanded. This is done by passing order within. This is done by passing order within 12 months from end of the year in which notice under section 148 was received by the assessee. You know, these are such things, even if I repeat 1,000 times in front of you, even if I make sure every lecture I repeat 100 times, still it will not be effective. Only when you genuinely put your effort, once or twice also, you will remember forever. That's why, you know what I always tell my students, don't depend upon teacher. Teacher's effort will not give you the result. Your effort will give. See, if you tell me I will repeat the whole DT 10 times in front of you, still you will not pass if you don't put your effort. But little bit of guidance also, if the student is sincere, then definitely he will get the result. That's why, see, I can repeat 1 or 2 times. After that, it's your job to repeat. Okay. Because only when your conscious is involved, it will hit your memory. Okay. See, here her doubt is if assessee is not cooperating, then what did I say AO will do? Base judgment. Actually, this is not written anywhere in the law. This is a general protocol. You know, certain things are understood that if his assessee is not cooperating, apply base judgment. But law doesn't mention base judgment like formally. That's why, see, even if assessee doesn't cooperate, section will be 147 and people will call order under 147. You don't have to name it as base judgment order under 147. That naming is not to be done. It's just order under 147. See, that naming is a style. In what style it was done? Base judgment style. But name is always like order under this, order under that, order under this, order under that. You don't, she was saying, sir, can we name this as base judgment order? To name it's okay. But section will be 147 only, whether assessee is cooperative or non-cooperative. Okay. But in exam you just write na order under 147. Okay. 4 steps are done. Okay. But you make sure that all this is by heart, because see, in these 4 steps only you will find amendments with effect from 1st September. Okay. 1st September 24 the procedure has changed little bit. And what are the changes? If I tell you right now only, it will become mess. Already the theory is such big theory, in that double thing, it will become a mess. It is just I have informed so that you be prepared to make this thorough. New things is soon going to come. But not now. Right now, see, let us check the status. Wait. Where have we reached? Don't forget our chapter is in 4 parts. Huh? Remember the first lecture? Our chapter is in 4 parts. This we have finished. This also we finished. This is going on, going on. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Summary assessment done. Regular assessment done. Best judgment assessment done. Income escaping assessment going on. Okay. So don't lose the track. So still we are in this stage, assessment stage. Now, in that also, what is our current status? Wait, our current status is A, B and C. 3 things we have done. What is the part D? Notes. Okay. Now see, in notes there are 6 points. OTS Gadar. This is a keyword to remember. What is the first alphabet? O. Now see, what is O? Look. See, now you will find little relieved. Because main theory is over. Now same thing we are digging more in detail. Extra points now. Because the main process is done, na? Now see. Other escaped incomes. Do one thing, you guess what should be the explanation under this. Because basically the theory is over. If someone says what is income escaping assessment, you know. How it is done, you know everything now. But now some extra detailing we are doing. So can you guess what detailing you will get here? Correct. See here. Once your case is reopened, if AO discovers some other escaped income also, then what to do with that? Like see, other, no point in talking other. It's better to talk with example, okay? What example I gave? Take that same example. I sold a property, I made huge capital gain in crores. But I didn't show in the return thinking that they will not come to know. But they came to know. How? The registrar informed the IT department that Shri Shwaz has sold a property and they found in the return it was not shown, so I was caught. So what will they do? I am repeating certain things because I want to come to a stage. So what will they do? They got information, then they will follow 4 steps. In step 1, they will give me show cause notice. Shri Shwaz, give reason. Why shouldn't we reopen your case? So I will go to them. No, I was not knowing that I have to show capital gains. I will give any bullshit reasons. And they will say, what you are not knowing? Ignorance of law is not an excuse. You are supposed to show capital gain. You don't know, have knowledge. Consult a CA, but you should have shown capital gain. So that show cause happened. And they decided they will reopen. Then second step, repeat. They will issue a notice under 148. 148. Second step is 148. Where I will have to file the return of that year. Which year? The year when I sold the property. So I filed the return. Let's assume I sold the property in 2021. So I filed the return. And then what will happen? One more notice will come. They will call me in the office. So I went to the office. See, I am sitting there. See, I am sitting there. And this meeting is for discussing capital gain computation. And in my example, assume the property was sold in 2021. Now see, when the discussion was going on, AO asked me to submit a passbook of mine, bank statement. He told me, please submit your bank statement of 2021. Because you have sold the property, let me see where, in which account you received the money. So he just asked for bank statement casually. So I produced. And when AO went through my bank statement, he found some other income. There was some bank FD interest credited in my passbook. So he was shocked. Actually, he wanted to look into capital gain matter. But suddenly he found FD interest which was there in my passbook. And then he thought, FD interest, let me see his return, old return. Then when he saw the old return, Even FD interest income was not reported. Then he told me, you are a big cheater. You also hidden FD interest. Liar. I called you for capital gain. I came to know about your other cheating also. Now in such case, what will happen? Can he assess the other incomes which was subsequently caught, or he has to restrict himself to capital gains? This question has come in exam. Means the way I am saying it is framed in the form of a question. Huh? They will say a case was opened with capital gain matter, and later on AO discovered some bank FD interest, and now AO wants to tax bank FD interest also. Can AO tax, or it should be restricted to capital gain only? So what is your thinking? He can. But you know, assessee will argue. How can you tax bank interest? AO, you have to follow 4 steps. What is the first and foremost step? Comply with 148A. Yes, you did 148A, but for capital gain, but not for bank FD. So who will do all that? Now suddenly you want to directly tax bank FD interest? People argue like this, huh? See, what is right and wrong, I will tell you. But an assessee can argue that for capital gain, you followed the 4 steps strictly. So you are right, boss. You are right. You tax my capital gain. But bank FD, he came to know directly in this meeting. So assessee will question, what about step 1? What about step 2? What about step 3? In relation to bank FD, huh? So your law has made it clear, once for the capital gain point, all the procedure was systematically followed. Later on some other income comes to the notice of the AO, he can tax other income also, even if he has not followed the detailed procedure for the other income. You understand? Yeah. So, see, this is written in the law only, because law knows people will argue. What a person can argue? No, for bank FD interest, I agree that I have not shown that income, but you didn't follow this procedure, na? You cannot do anything, na? But law has given answer for that also. Even if the AO has not complied with 148A, etc., still he can tax the bank FD interest. Yes, for capital gain, the main point of reopening. See, in my example, what is the main point? Capital gain not shown. So, for the main point, the steps should be strictly followed. See, these steps are the duties of AO. And in my example, for capital gain, AO followed his duty religiously. Now, just for other income, which came to the notice directly in step 4, assessee cannot say, no, follow this. So, see, AO will say, I don't mind. I will take bank FD interest separately. But then following a separate procedure, the time might have lost. Imagine that capital gain. That capital gain proceeding started at the end of 3 years. What was the main point of reopening? Capital gain. So let's assume that capital gain process only started at the dead end of 3 years. Dead end. At that time it started. And now if assessee will say, no, bank FD, I agree, I am a cheater, I didn't show. Now you follow process altogether again. But 3 years are already gone, na? See, AO was earlier under what impression? Capital gain, cheater, capital gain. So he started, but he started only when, assume, end of 3 years. Many times it happens, they start the process at the end of 3 years. And now if assessee is saying, for bank FD, you restart the process. But restarting means again complying with the time limits. The time might have passed. So all this law has already taught. That's why law says, for your other cheatings, we are not going to separately follow the process. in that same proceeding, it will be included and taxed. You want to understand in proper legal language? Please pay attention and I challenge you. Show me you can buy it in one go. Challenge. Listen to the sentence. Huh? Look. I am saying the sentence of other escaped income. Huh? Look. Once a valid proceeding is initiated under section 147, the AO can also assess other escaped income which is subsequently discovered by him during the course of proceeding under this section, even if the provisions of section 148A are not complied with in respect of such other escaped income. This is the exact version of the law. See, I know you will not be able to reproduce the same way, but you got the feeling. What is the feeling? Once for capital gain matter, systematically everything is started. Then for other all items, it can be taxed directly. No need to do separate thing for that. So let me say the sentence once again. Try to memorize. Because see, in the exam, they will ask a question. Can AO tax bank FD interest? Generally students write, yes, yes, yes. And they expect they should get marks. You cannot expect marks by writing yes. Yes, bank FD can be taxed. You have to write the provision. How will you write the provision? Once a valid proceeding is initiated under section 147, the AO can also, feel the word can also, means he is going to tax my capital gain, he can also tax bank interest in my example. So once a valid proceeding is initiated under 147, the AO can also assess. See the language. Don't say AO can also tax. Assess. The AO can also assess other escaped income which is subsequently, why subsequently? Because AO came to know late. So which is subsequently discovered during the course of proceeding under this section. Even if the provisions of section 148A are not complied with in respect of such other escaped income. See, for capital gain, everything was complied with. So what we are saying, even if provisions of 148A are not complied with in respect of such other escaped income. Okay. Wait, see here. See, this point which I said right now, this was assuming that bank FD interest pertain to the same year. Okay. Then only this rule will apply. But one change in the example. AO came to know about your bank FD interest, but it was pertaining to some another year. Capital gain was of 2021 and bank FD interest pertains to say 21-22. The year only is different. Then a separate proceeding has to be initiated, separate. Because year separate, assessment separate, order also separate. But if it pertains to the same year, then take it in the same process. Okay. So that is also possible that the new income which AO came to know belongs to some other year. Because see, if the year changes, that 3 years threshold will also change. See here. And imagine that other thing which is caught, it is so old that 3 years has lapsed, then he cannot do. See, that other thing, it can be taken in the same process if it pertains to the same year. But if it pertains to a different year, a separate proceeding will be initiated. Separate means these 4 steps all together has to be followed separately. If the year is different, that was a doubt. And not just because of a doubt, it was going to be my next explanation only. But coincidentally she asked the doubt. That what if it pertains to a different year, then separate proceeding. Okay. So see, you justify here, no? You justify. See, her concern is what but sir, bank FD interest, they are directly taxing. But they are directly taxing means it is in front of you only happening, na? You convince AO No, that is nothing. You convince? And if you can, oh, that is nothing, then he will not do anything. So, assessee will here, live meeting is going on. So they can discuss, na? But in my example, let's assume it was purely escaped income, bank FD. So he will not leave you. And you know how the order will be passed? Look at this, huh? Look. See my order. See, after all this discussion, AO will pass order. And every one for this an order, it starts with past income. Because see, here we are reopening some past year. So a person might have shown some income. So that original income which has already shown in past will be taken as a base. Then hidden incomes are added. And what are the two hidden incomes? Capital gain and bank, it will be added. And then again total calculation will be done. And from the tax, what you already paid, you just pay the balance. And see, here what I have written. Capital gains was the main escaped income, main target for which everything started. And bank interest is the other escaped income which was not the target but it became the target because AO subsequently came to know. Okay. Same as aged out. It will come. It will come in OTS Gadar G. It will come. Okay. So right now the point was, can AO tax other incomes also which are subsequently discovered? Yes. And that too also in the same order, provided it pertains to the same year. Huh? See, actually this order is year wise. Just as profit and loss account in accounts, it is year wise or not. So this is for government kind of income statement. And income statement is year wise. So only if the bank interest pertains to the same year, it can come in the same order, in the same process. But as I said, if it pertains to some another year, then this order will have only capital gain. For bank interest, a separate procedure of 4 steps will be followed. Okay. So this was O. Okay. Then look here. Next point is little lengthy. And almost the time is up. So I'll wind up here only. Because if I start another point, that is a big point. Okay. That will be a big point. So I'll do one thing. I'll give you the question. Wait. So we stop here at other escaped income. Okay. Now, wait. Homework question. Wait. See, till 8, question 8, it's done. Correct. Now see, the next homework is question 9. Question 10. Okay. Then question 11. Even this is homework. That's it. Wait, question 11 also. Yes. 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11 are homework. Okay. Now see, what is the status of the chapter? Look at this. Look. Our status is, from the summary you check. Part 1 was returns. Okay. Tell me, just to have a short recap. In returns, what were the sections? 139.1 voluntary return. 139.3 loss return. 139.4 belated return. 139.5 revised return. 139.9 defective return. Then self-assessment. 140A. So this was returns. 140 capital A self-assessment. And then we started inquiry. This is again in 3 parts. 142.1, 142.2, 142.2A. All 142, but subsection 1, subsection 2, subsection 2A. 142.1 is RAI notice. File the return, produce accounts, furnish information, accounts of maximum 3 preceding years can be demanded. Then 142.2, information from other sources like GST department, third party, advertisers, etc. 142.2a, special audit, Dakre. First direction will be issued, get your accounts audited by CA nominated by CID, CCID. Then compulsory audit even if already done. Reports furnished within the time prescribed by Report submit within the time prescribed by AO. The time can be extended but it cannot cross 180 days. Expense of the audit, government will pay. CID, CCID will decide but government will pay. So this was under special audit. Okay. But 142 may be done, may not be done. It is completely the discretion of AO. Then we started assessment. Assessment has got summary assessment, regular assessment, best judgment assessment, and then income escaping assessment. So what is summary assessment? It is done in short. Your return is taken as the base. In the computer, automatically RLAD will happen. But before doing RLAD, they will give you a mail. Should we do RLAD? Any problem? Any problem? Tell us in 30 days. And if you don't tell us anything, we'll do RLAD. And after RLAD is done, if your tax is payable, it will be demanded. If refund is due, it is granted. This is done by sending intimation under section 143(1). Here you have to use the word intimation. Order word is used when some strong thing happens. Summary is weak, it is as good as no assessment. Don't use the word order. Here it will be intimation. Intimation means you are intimate, you are informed that we have processed your return. We have processed. We are just informing. So that's an intimation. Don't use the word order in summary assessment. And what was the time limit? 9 months from end of the year in which return is filed. Okay. So that was summary assessment. Then regular assessment, 2 steps. First, call the assessee in office. Not call the office. First, call the assessee in the office by issuing notice under 143(2) within 3 months from the end of the year in which return is filed. And after assessee attends the office, discussion with the assessee, compute the 5 heads of income, pass the order under 143(3) within 12 months from the end of AY. Then best judgment. If assessee doesn't cooperate, best judgment. But show cause notice should be given and then best judgment. 142(1) failure, no show cause, direct best judgment. Again the time is 12 months from the end of AY. And then we started with income escaping assessment, which is in 4 parts. Meaning, condition, procedure, notes. Meaning, if timely action is not taken, then you are called escaped. This is the meaning. Sometimes timely action is taken, but action not taken properly, income under assessed. Then also you escaped. And whenever you escape, don't worry, we will catch you. Even if the time has passed away. Even if you are already assessed but under assessed, we will reassess. But there is a condition. AO should have information, anything from rough CA. But in raid and survey cases, rough CA not required. AO is deemed to have information. So how law have written this? In search and survey cases, AO is deemed to have information. There is no need of specially having rough CA. Generally, you should have rough CA, but in raid and survey cases, rough CA not required. So this is the condition. And in procedure, 4 steps. Step 1, show cause notice. Give him a chance so that he can prove innocence if he is innocent. Otherwise, reopen the case. But you have to decide whether to reopen or not in step 1. Step 2, once decided to reopen, send a notice under 148 asking him to file the return of that year. Okay, send notice within 3 years from the end of AY, and he will file return within 3 months from the end of the month when notice was issued. And after he files the return, one more notice is sent, 143(2), attend the office. And this notice should be received by the assessee within 3 months from the end of the year when he filed the new return. Notice under 143(2) should be received by the assessee within 3 months from the end of the year when he filed the new return. and then this notice will say attend, and he will attend, and when he attends, discussion will be on computation, and that computation will be jotted down on a piece of paper called order, which should be passed within 12 months from end of the year when notice under 148 is received by the assessee. Okay. And while passing the order, some other escaped income is discovered, even that will be taken in that, provided it pertains to the same year. Okay. See, this way, even if I repeat this 1,000 times, it has no value. You just put your honest effort. God is watching you. If you honestly put your effort to recap, then you will be benefited. Otherwise, see, for me, it is just another batch. But for you, it's your life. Take your life seriously, okay? And see, someday or the other, you will have to study only. But studying at the right time will take you at the right path. Because see, after suffering from here and then you realize I will have to study only now. Then you are dealing your passing, na? If you want to pass in first attempt, do the things in first attempt only. Means the moment I say do the homework, do the homework. Revise and come, revise and come. If you have the tendency of doing in one go, result will also come in one go. But people have got different tendency. They don't want to do anything in one attempt. But they want the result should come in one attempt. That's unfair, na? So first deserve, then desire. First you deserve. First you do the things in one attempt. Like your sir is saying, revise and come, revise. Do the homework, do the homework. Do it in first attempt. Then see, result will also come in first attempt. Nature will work in that manner only. Okay. It's the law of the nature. Okay, bye. Revise and come. Please do the homework and come.